You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Really?
Okay, so you know, I told you I was in a relationship for a while, and I was I'm guilty of giving myself over to the point to where I just kind of made her my whole world and my whole source.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, poor fucking girl. She's a great girl. No hatred, but I just made her like, I mean, I during the point when I wasn't thinking like I'm thinking now, she was responsible for all my fun. And if she wasn't, you know, doing what I wanted, like trying, you know, helping me and be happy, then, you know, I was giving her a guilt trip, which was fucked up, you know. And it's past now. I can reflect on it in the future.
It's a learning experience. Every relationship is a learning experience. So as long as you learn something and you grew from it, then it was a positive thing.
Oh Jesus! I learned a lot from this last relationship. I learned that I'm not meant for them, and it's time to just fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think any man's meant for a relationship.
Right.
I think they just finally
figure it out.
They just tap out and say, "All right, I'll commit." Fuck.
Yeah, but you figured it out.
Tired of fucking around.
You seem to figure it out. I mean, you don't have no fucking Christian fucking priest fucking past, you know, going on with you, but you're being good to Megan, you know.
Yeah, well, it comes with the territory of you know, earning those stripes.
Yeah,
you finally realize what's important.
I think I got a few more stripes there.
I'm at a stage now where it's like I don't even have time to look for a new chick or to want to find a chick.
Oh, I'm sure Megan loves the fact that you're only with her because you don't have enough time to look for a new chick.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I'm saying that I'm saying, like, to me, like, even if I was single, like, a relationship or a girlfriend is not on the fucking objective list. Luckily, a girl can put up with my shit.
Yeah,
it's basically all I can boil it down to.
Yeah.
If she said, or any girl would say, hey, I don't want anything to do with you anymore, I'm done, and they walked out, I'm not going to, like, go in panic mode and go hit the bars and, like, flipping the coin by the fucking street sign trying to find a girl.
Well, that's what I'm doing. That's not. I'm in
wolf mode,
that, I guess.
You're in wolf mode. Big bad wolf.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
I'm so focused on my album right now and just creating content and trying to get this label to a status where people give a shit, because right now I'm at a level where it's like you got to research me if you really want to know what he's been up to.
Yeah.
I want it to be where people are like, oh, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is, but I've heard about his shit. I got to get to that level, and by doing that, or to get to that, I have to constantly make content, whether it's my own content, helping with someone else's content, if you make an album, or if you know someone that needs someone to fucking track their fucking album, whatever the case may be.
Just gotta get out
That's
there.
what you gotta do.
But
But anyways, go ahead. You're continuing with the knife story.
Boom. Wow. Talking about a tangent. But, so I go, the reason I said about the girlfriend thing was because I hadn't hung out with my buddy Chris for a long time. And I go over there, and we're very similar with a lot of our things that we like, you know, and knives being one of them. He had all these knives, right? I mean, a grip of them, and everyone I looked at, he whipped out. He's like, check out this one, Ryan. They're high quality knives. I mean, you know, he had a couple cheap knives, but not even one knife there as cheap as mine, you know. Probably at least $30 a knife, some $200 knives, you know.
How many knives would you say Chris has got?
Chris has probably got, if you count all of his knives, he's got to have at least 50. At least, you know.
Damn.
But he's got about 20 dope fucking knives, you know. So I'm looking at him, I whip out my little knife, and I mean, I might as well walked into that room, and Chris might as well have had 20 new best friends, and they all might as well whip their dicks out, and they would all fucking, you know, 5 inches bigger than my dick, you know, and I just was like, whoa, like, I feel like a little bitch right now. So I had to walk out.
Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth.
Basically, yeah, that's how it made me feel, like I just had the smallest dick in the world, you know? But I just had a bitch-ass little knife, and the dick is doing well. But, so I'm looking at his knives, and I decide I want to get one. You hear that? That's a cold steel right there. The only knife one of the only knives that he didn't have that he would aspire to have was a cold steel blade. It's got the strongest lock. You hear that? You're not gonna. I will stab you even if you have a bulletproof vest. Go right through you. Nothing's gonna happen.
That's gonna go through Kevlar.
This can go through Kevlar. Yeah, it's a YouTube video. Go YouTube it. Cold steel. Just
nice.
Car hoods, like butter. You know what I mean? But not that that's why I want to use it. But still, you know, if you're gonna carry a knife, you know, you don't. A lot of things I do with my knife, like open boxes or something. My old knives, there's a potential there where it'll fold and cut my fucking fingers, right? Because when you hold a knife, it folds. But this will not. That will not happen. Anyway, back to the moral of the story. Since he got me onto this point and I got this knife, you know, like he goes on a lot of boards, like message boards online, you know, about knives and different things like that. And most people that are into knives, like him and I, you know, are also like, you know, at least into guns at some certain point. You know, it's kind of a man thing. It's the kind of people that have the mindset like me, like, you know, if the comet hit, the one that killed the dinosaurs, and this whole fucking world shut down, and the only way to survive was off the land, you know, like, I'm going to be the motherfucker that is going to survive, you know? Like, we're trying to plan a trip where we're going to go camping with nothing but a backpack, some water, and our knives, you know? And maybe some fishing line.
And a motorhome.
Hook. And a motorhome, and some air conditioning.
And Wi-Fi, internet.
A couple, women, and some food. A restaurant, not too far from, no, I'm just kidding. You know, middle of nowhere. I mean, that's fun to us. And, so, anyway, all the people on these boards, now I'm getting back to the actual point where it ties back to Batman, do not understand how in Colorado, a place where it's legal to carry a fucking gun, how not one person in that theater had a fucking gun on them. You know, you have 4 fucking boyfriends that got killed because they jumped in front of their girlfriends. Why weren't they carrying a gun, you know? I mean, if you have something that you care so much to protect that you're going to jump in front of it and die, why don't you have all the tools to protect yourself and for any situation? If I lived in Colorado, I'd have a gun everywhere I fucking went, because if some crazy fuck like that popped out, I'd be bringing my fucking girlfriend or my brother or, you know, my niece or whatever, and I'd be thinking the whole time, I'm going to take this motherfucker out, you know, before it hurts anyone else, and I just pop right up, and maybe I still get killed like they did, but at least 10 less people get killed, or 5 or 2 or 1. You know, I would have smoked that motherfucker, and someone should have. You know what I mean? I mean, if you can carry a gun, you should carry it. You know, if you carry it, then you know what? Like, there's gonna be a lot less crime. If I'm a fucking tweaker that is so fucked up that I'm just like gonna rob places with this gun that I bought dirty, right? I'm gonna do that shit in Torrance, right? But if I'm pretty sure that everybody in one of those houses has a fucking gun themselves, I'm going to think fucking twice, right? I mean...
Makes absolutely sense.
Right?
It makes complete
Perfect
sense.
sense, right?
But I think the thing is, again, this is going down the conspiracy realm of things. A lot of people say, I mean, people think, or here's what the media is not saying. The media is saying, oh, he was a lone gunman, he's a total nutcase, just snapped. They're trying to act like it's a Columbine thing where he was just ridiculed throughout high school. Mm-hmm. But a lot of eyewitnesses are saying, that before that guy even did something, that somebody went up there, opened the fucking door, motioned for someone to come inside the theater, and that not only that, but when that guy was when that guy fucking threw the first like smoke bomb or whatever the fuck it was from one side of the theater, someone else from the other side of the theater threw another smoke bomb. So they're saying there was a second person involved, which makes you think that maybe there was some sort of, you know, like, again, conspiracy. A government conspiracy that wanted to have this happen, make it a staged event.
Or it could have just been like you and me, like, just fucking had enough, and like we wanted to go fuck some shit up, right? I mean,
true, but why is the media suppressing that? Why is the media saying, no, he was a lone gunman, he was a lone gunman, he was a lone gunman?
Oh, that's weird.
Why are they ignoring the fact that...
Where'd you find this other information?
If you just Google it, just say eyewitness accounts, there's eyewitnesses that say that there was someone, they don't know who it was, obviously, but someone was also decked out with the fucking gas mask and the fucking combat gear, who threw a gas mask from the other side of the theater. I mean, not a gas mask, threw a fucking...
a gas mask? Holy shit!
Oh, it hit him right in the chest.
God.
It hurt her and everything.
It hurt her so bad.
No, threw a smoke bomb from the opposite side from where he was opening fire. So there was obviously another person involved.
That's crazy.
And that's what they're saying. But the media is fucking not acknowledging that, and they're fucking anything that goes on YouTube. They're fucking if there's a fucking video clip of someone saying, yeah, I think there was a second person that was involved. They're fucking taking it off YouTube. Like, why are they doing that shit?
Serious?
Yeah, they're doing that. I mean, I'm not saying there's not any videos on YouTube that are out there.
So let's think about the possibilities here. So the possibility you're saying with all that information is that the government is behind it because
it's a staged attack. Because they want to regulate gun control. So they're saying, see what happens when we don't regulate guns? People go out there and shoot people. Shit. See what happens?
Yep.
We need to take guns away from people.
All I see is that, carry a fucking gun. Let's just imagine if everyone had a gun.
They want you to think more guns, more problems. They don't want you to think if...
But there's like no guns, so how could that be true?
Because they want you to think that if, Mr. and Mrs. Smith owned a gun, that someone else is going to get killed.
That Mrs. Smith might fuck fucking Mr. Jones, and then Mr. Smith might come into the theater and start capping fools. Yeah, I guess
they want to regulate gun control because if they can get the gun, if they can relinquish the Second Amendment right, then they can easily put a fucking what's the word I'm looking for? They can put fucking
ordinance.
Not ordinance.
Fucking.
What is the fucking word? I'm having a fucking brain fart here. Police state. They can have a police state on the fucking country.
Ooh.
Like when Hitler was trying to take over in Europe.
Yeah.
They banned guns, so they couldn't fucking defend themselves. So what can you do? You're either gonna take a fucking bullet in the face from an assault rifle, or you're gonna fucking surrender.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
So if you have guns, you're not gonna surrender. So they want to
get rid of the government. Yeah, right. If you're the government and everyone has a gun, and you start just doing shit with and not like doing your own shit without letting the people make those decisions, you're probably sweating in your fucking panties thinking like, damn, everyone's got a gun, they could come up in this mug and fuck shit up, and then how many people on our side are really on our side? And then
that's why they demonize militias. Whenever you hear about a militia in in the media, it's like, oh, they're fucking extremists, they're terrorists, who are these people on a compound, they're fucking shooting at targets. They make you think that these camo wearing militia people are fucking nutcases, when all they're really doing is protecting their property in case the government fucking tries to become a dictatorship.
Or put it this way, like you and me now, we're a little older. I mean, we apply to the military, like they're not really gonna accept us, right? I mean, we're too old now, right? But let's say, I mean, America has a bad vibe in the world right now. Let's say China, I mean, this is totally like there's nothing to support this reason, but let's just imagine for a minute that China decides they want to fucking invade, right? They want to fuck shit up. Well, like, they wouldn't accept us in the army. We have no training, we don't even, we don't shoot a lot of guns. So, we're going to get fucked up, right? I mean, your whole family's going to get mowed down if they came down your street. But if we started our own little militia, got our own guns, started training, and people did that, and then that shit happened, the invasion came, fuck, maybe it's aliens. Then we'd be fucking shit up, right? I mean,
that's the last thing they want. They don't.
Yeah.
I just got my firearms permit.
You did?
So legally I can carry a gun.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I can't obviously just walk into a bar holstered.
Yeah.
But I can carry it in my trunk.
California, at least.
I can carry it in my trunk as long as it's like the gun's in the trunk and the bullets in the glove box.
Yeah.
And I show them that I have a fucking, identification that I have a firearms permit.
Yeah.
And especially because I, have done security work, but they're trying to. I honestly believe they're trying to gear us towards accepting the fact that if you have a gun, you're a terrorist. If you're an American with a gun, you're a domestic terrorist, or you have the potential to be. Or hey guys, like you're gonna be some little kids and shit. Like, hey, now if you ever see your neighbor with a gun, you tell your mommy and daddy to call the police because they could be a terrorist. Remember they had DARE back when we were kids? Like, oh, if someone's smoking marijuana, they're a drug addict. Yeah. And I mean, like, and when I was fucking in 6th, 7th grade, when I found out someone smoked weed, like, because, there's those bad kids or whatever that smoke weed in, like, 7th, 8th grade.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, oh, my God, he's a fucking drug addict.
So bad, dude.
Oh, my God, he needs to go to jail. He's a horrible person. He smokes marijuana. And I mean, like, they put that in your head when you're a kid with drugs and shit, with the whole war on drugs shit. I think they're going to gear from the war on drugs now.
That shit makes it worse, to me. That makes it worse. So when I finally fucking had a taste of drugs, and I was like, damn, this shit is tight. Fuck. what the fuck have they been why the fuck have they been lying to me my whole life? Why wasn't I doing this shit back in 4th grade? You know what I mean? Like if they would fucking talk about it, you know, they want to treat kids like they're animals, like they don't have brains, you know. Some kids, you know, are 11 years old and they got bigger brains than fucking their parents. You know
haven't you seen those stories where like they do the dare classes, whatever, and they tell the kids like, okay, you know, marijuana is a bad drug, and you know, if you ever find out your parents are smoking marijuana, make sure you tell your teacher, you know. So these little kids are like saying, my daddy is growing marijuana.
My dad did,
you know. So then the kids rat out their parents, and the fucking feds come in and fucking arrest their dad.
Yeah. See, well, for me, it worked like, you know, like, I mean, my dad was Superman, right? And he also smoked weed, you know. So, like, I'm hearing all these bad things about it, you know. And he never told me he smoked weed, but I smelt it, I saw it, and then I go in school and they show you pictures of it and all that stuff. I'm like, it's the same shit Superman does, you know. Like, you're telling me that's bad? Like, who am I gonna believe here? Like, I'm gonna believe you, some woman that's my fucking 4th grade teacher that I don't even like? Or I'm gonna believe fucking Superman, who fucking, you know, has, you know, done so much for me, and I'm just gonna be like, these people are talking shit about Superman, you know? Like, fuck that. And, you know, I think if they would be real about it, like, maybe not when they're tiny kids, you know, but at least by middle school you're real about it. Like, look, like, this is the kind of, there's a certain like thing in life where shit is like too good to be true. If something makes you feel so good, that shit is gonna eventually balance itself out by making you feel so bad, you know. These things will, when you try these things, if you do, you will feel good and you will like it. And we're gonna let you know that we're not gonna try to make it out to be like, you know, you're gonna fucking smoke some weed and rob a store, because you're probably not going to. But eventually, you know, like, it makes your chances a lot higher to do a lot of other bad things, you know what I mean? Or go downhill and then fuck up your whole life, you know? I mean, I think if I had never done drugs, I would be a lot better off right now, and financially and shit like that. But on the other end, I wouldn't know people, I wouldn't know the world, I wouldn't understand the way I do, because I can put myself on every level, because I've been at the bottom and I've been at the top, you know?
I think you definitely don't want to let drugs take over your being.
Yeah.
But to say, like, to never have experimented, to never done anything, that you're going to have a narrow-minded view of what reality is.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, if you've never done mushrooms, how can you say, like, what you think about the world, what the meaning of life is?
You can't.
If you don't, you think the meaning of life is to get up, go to work, you know, bust your ass for some employer who doesn't give a fuck about you because they're a corporation, you're just a number, and then hopefully one day, if you make enough money, you can have kids and continue the process.
It's true. And on another level, that same fucking point is, how can you really know what beauty is? Because I know what beauty is, and I knew what beauty was, and then in between, I had like done some drugs like shrooms where your mind just fucking just explodes, you know? And I could look at some shit like the fog over the grassy field and bend down and see, like, the fog's not down here, and stand back up and be like, wow, I can't even see the grass anymore. And then I could, like, get down at, like, right where that, like, line was, and just be like, this shit is like fucking magic, dude. This world is so intense. You don't see that shit. I had seen that shit before, but I hadn't seen that shit. I didn't see how magical it was. Like, you know, you can't really appreciate shit. You can't really, you think you appreciate shit, but until you've experienced enough, you really can't appreciate anything, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think?